From the capital city of Charleston, West Virginia, this is Inside West Virginia Politics with Rick Johnson. Inside West Virginia Politics is brought to you by AARP West Virginia, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State, and by Williamson Health and Wellness Center, working to open doors to broader health care in southern West Virginia and eastern Kentucky. Now, Inside West Virginia Politics.
Hello and welcome to Inside West Virginia Politics. I'm Rick Johnson. Lots of good things happening in Nicholas County these days. I mean, lots of really good things. And to tell us all about it is the County Commission President, Craig Chapman. Craig, welcome to Inside West Virginia Politics.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And in interest of full disclosure, my mother's family is from Nicholas County, so I spent many childhood days in the summertime exploring the mountains of around Craigsville and all parts of Nicholas County. Beautiful county. So happy to have you here today.
Thank you. And I was born and raised in Craigsville and grew up with some of your cousins.
There you go. Small
Yeah,
world indeed.
It is.
You know, we've had a chance to talk off the air a little bit about some of the things coming to Nicholas County, and I got to be honest, some of this kind of blew me away. And let's start first, if we could, with broadband.
Okay. Well, you know, we talked a little bit about, we have a very active commission. We go after whatever we can. Broadband-wise, we have put together a package of a $12.5 million loan from the USDA and a $12.5 million grant, which is is right at a $25 million project.
Wow.
That will, along with the BEAD projects that's already going on, this will give Nicholas County broadband far ahead of everyone else, and pretty much the whole entire county we should be able to serve.
And for those who don't know, Nicholas County is a lot of hills and hollers, and people are spread out.
Yes, they are. A lot of rural areas that people don't realize, and because you got a couple of cities and a couple of big towns, but then it just spreads into wonderful property.
Absolutely. Yeah,
wonderful
absolutely.
property.
And you also mentioned something that I hadn't thought about for Nicholas County is some kind of a solar project.
Yes, we got involved with a company from, I believe they're from Kansas, that wanted to come here on an abandoned strip mine, which the majority of the property is in Nicholas County. We negotiated with them for about a year or so on a tax type thing. And we're going to bring, it is slated to come in here. Some of their funding was held up, but it will be a 250 megawatts. It'll cover about 3,500 acres of abandoned mine land that we really got very little tax revenue off of, which now is going to become industrial, and it'll really help our tax base.
Now, is some of the funding on that project and other projects sort of held up for the moment or frozen for the moment?
It is. It's a federal level. Yes, there was some things at the federal level that have just been put on hold until all this stuff gets sorted out.
We also talked about the fact that Summersville Lake is now Summersville State Park.
No, it's not true. There's a state park beside the lake. It's called Summersville Lake State Park because it's right there. The lake itself is still the Corps of Engineers. It's owned by the U.S. Department of Army Corps of Engineers. But there is a state park and the governor was there last week and cut the ribbon on the first campgrounds opened up. So will be campgrounds, there'll be cabins, rock climbing. It kind of amazes you that there's so many people come to climb rocks. You know, the rest of us want to get away from rocks. So,
yeah, and I think you're looking at some sort of a synergy, if you will, with the Gorge property.
We really want to bring the tourism on over to us. You've got the Gorge has got the big, beautiful national park. Then you got the state park. We have some other places in Nicholas County. You know, you got the Mon Forest and Richwood. You got a lot of places, trails and things to visit. So, you know, you spend a couple days at the national park, come over and spend a couple of days at the state park, and then spend a couple of days in Summersville and Richwood and all the other areas outlying, and you could really make a vacation out of it.
Well, you know, the Gorge doesn't have the lake.
Correct.
And the lake doesn't have the bridge, so it all comes together.
It comes together. It's a wonderful thing. Fayette County, we're forming some partnerships. We have an airport in Summersville, and Fayette County's came in to join us in that airport to make it a regional. So there's people that comes into our airport just to get a car, drive to Fayetteville, and eat and come back and fly home. I talked to some guys from Indiana the other day that flew down just to go to Fayetteville to eat a hamburger and fly back to Indiana that night.
That's the good life.
Yeah, it's great.
That's the good life. And you're a pilot too.
I am.
Oh. Hey, well, look, thanks for coming in today. We
Okay.
appreciate it. And by the way,
I appreciate you.
Would you like to mention your other two commissioners? I know you said that you guys are a pretty tight-knit group.
We are. We have two other commissioners. There's three of us, and we work great together. Gary Roberts Jr. and Garrett Cole.
We were hoping they were going to be here today. They couldn't make it.
They had two emergencies they couldn't get all of, but they support me 100%, and we're here.
There you go. Again, thanks a lot.
Come to Nicholas County.
Absolutely. That's Craig Chapman. He's president of the Nicholas County Commission. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back with more of Inside West Virginia Politics. Welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. I'm Rick Johnson. You know, it's been 3+ months since the big flood in primarily southern part of West Virginia, where they are still, some of them, mucking it out. And we have joining us Brad Davis. And Brad was with us a few months ago talking about the recovery of people's personal belongings, their homes, the relief effort going on there. And matter of fact, Brad is a Methodist minister in that area. You have 4 churches that you're responsible for?
Actually, 5, Rick.
5? Wow.
Yeah, in 5 different communities here in the county.
And can you just say the communities?
Yeah, Welch, Kimball, Thorpe, Jenkins Jones, and Lackey.
Very good. Well, you certainly have your hands full, as they say, and we just
Yes.
thank you for taking time for us, and we appreciate it very much. Tell us a little bit about where you are right now. I know that there's later there's going to be something going on there at the Gary Volunteer Fire Department.
Correct. And thank you again for having me, Rick. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I'm here at the Gary Volunteer Fire Department, where later on this afternoon we're going to be doing a water distribution. It's through the Welch Charge, which is the name of the conglomeration of churches that I serve, along with From Below, Rising Together for Coalfield Justice, and the United Methodist Committee on Relief and West Virginia Disaster Response Ministries are all collaborating to provide a water distribution here for the folks in Gary later today.
And you say Water Buffalo. Where did the Water Buffalo come from?
Yeah, so we obtained the Water Buffalo through a grant through UMCOR, which is the United Methodist Committee on Relief, their WASH program. We were very generously awarded the grant to purchase this Water Buffalo that's going to help out immensely in getting water to folks here in Gary, which is one of the water impacted communities that I serve, which was that was an issue going on well before the flood.
Are there instances now of people being able to move back into their homes in that area?
Yeah, there are people who are back in their homes. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I'm still away from my home that's continuing to be worked on and trying to be made ready to be livable. But yes, people have gotten back into their homes. So there are glimmers of hope here in the county as we continue to recover from February 15th. There are, however, quite a few folks who are still waiting for initial help. We still have a list of quite a few people, particularly on the southern end of the county, who need a lot of help just with initial clean out of their homes and trying to get that straightened out.
How would you grade the legislature's effort in their last session in providing some form of relief and help to the folks who live in McDowell County and other counties in your area?
The legislature, I really wish, Rick, that they would have at least attempted to put together a flood relief package for us, which did not happen. I really wish that they would have done more with the bill that was introduced to fund the currently unfunded flood resiliency fund. There was a bill introduced that would have put $250 million in that, which got stuck in committee and never made it out of committee. There was an amendment proposed on the House floor to add $50 million to that into the state budget. which did not pass because of concerns that it would hurt the state's bond rating. And to me, Rick, that's unconscionable. That cannot happen, because what you're doing is you're putting a dollar value on human life and human suffering, and that just can't be. With a state that has 1.3, I think, billion dollars in a rainy day fund, if we can't use that money for rainy days, quite literally, when it floods, and when we need help and for emergencies, then I don't know what the point of having that fund is.
Brad, we have to leave it there. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for doing what you do for your congregations in that part of the state, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you, Rick. It's always a pleasure.
Welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. I'm Rick Johnson, and joining us in this segment is Carolyn Rader. She is the mayor of Ripley, West Virginia.
How are you
today? I'm doing fine. Are you Madam Mayor? Or?
Oh, you can call me anything. That is fine. Mayor Rader's great. Carolyn's fine. We just small town. You can call whatever you want.
That's one of the great things about small town, isn't it?
Beautiful part of it. Yes.
We're going to talk about Mayor. We're going to talk about what's coming up on the 4th of July, and this has been known as America's largest small town Independence Day celebration, and all eyes will be focused on the town of Ripley.
It sure is, and has been for years, and because of the importance as the birth of our nation, we extended it not only to just be the 4th of July, as in the days of Don Fleischer, way back, but also now we start our celebration on July 2nd. So we have July 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th as to celebrate our nation's birth.
Tell us a little bit about what to expect for those of us who have some time to make plans to attend. What can we expect?
Okay, on July 2nd, we start out the celebration with our hometown community band and the Charleston Metro Band.
Oh, wow.
Then we have a wonderful bicycle parade for the children, and we have dancing in the streets, and our carnival has moved in, so it's a great night just to be downtown. Then on July 3rd, everybody who has come home for the weekend to enjoy our Independence Day, we have the class act. And people like with the class of 1966 or the class of 1984, they put up their tents and they all get together and just have a real nice reunion, because many people plan their class reunions and their family reunions that week end because of our 4th of July celebration. This year we've added 2 concerts that night for their entertainment. While they're talking and enjoying the fellowship, we have 2 concerts going on. One at 6 o'clock, Chris Perdue, trying to appeal to all different types of people's liking for music. He does gospel, and he's tremendous. And when I was principal of when I taught 1st grade, he was my student.
Oh, wow.
So now he's coming back as an entertainer for the 4th of July. And then at 8 o'clock is Justin Johnson, and he has Rewind the Walkman, completely different type of music. So and that's till 10 o'clock. So we have all kinds of things going on. Then on the 4th, we wake up and we have the Little Patriot Hour at 9 o'clock, inviting all the children downtown on the beautiful site of the Jackson County Courthouse. We have entertainment for them. At 10 o'clock, 9:45 that ends. At 10 o'clock, we have our opening ceremony, where we have, we honor 3, this year, our Grand Parade Marshal is WVU Medicine, Jackson General Hospital.
Wow.
They have brought so much attention and so much positivity to our city that we chose them as a group for our Grand Parade Marshal. Plus, we have a Leadership Award, Visionary Award, and Equestrian Award to 3 different wonderful citizens in our city. That's at 10 o'clock. Then the parade starts at 12. The parade starts at 12, and it's about an hour and a half, 2-hour parade. So if you don't make it before 11:30, 11:15, you better call me, because the police close the streets, because we have a race prior to that. So that all takes place. Then at 2 o'clock on the courthouse lawn, on the Constellium stage, we have a talent show. And the winner takes home $500.
No way.
Yes. And so that happened. And second place is $300.
Oh, wow.
So they're not singing just for nothing, you know. They're having, it's wonderful. And then at that's at 2 o'clock. Then at 4 o'clock we have Grace Campbell coming, and then at 6 o'clock we have at 6 o'clock we have. Someone else coming, and I'm going to tell you in just a minute. Oh, in the meantime, the hot air balloon, if the weather is perfect.
Okay.
If the weather is perfect, we have a hot air balloon on the west end of town on the mansion property. If you've been in Ripley, you know exactly, but you're only 2 city blocks away from the courthouse lawn. But Dwight Eisenhower is coming at 6 o'clock, who is the Elvis Presley impersonator.
Well, you can't have it without Elvis Presley,
right,
that's for sure.
Right, he comes back. Then at 8 o'clock, right before the fireworks, taking us right to the finale is Bucky Covington.
Oh my goodness. Well, I wish we had more time, but you have taken us, you did that in 5 minutes, just like
and I have another
bing,
day
ding, ding,
to
ding.
go.
Mayor, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
And I'm sure
a pleasure.
if people want more information, they could go to City of Ripley.
They sure can. Ripley's 4th of July and .com, and they'll find us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
That is Mayor Carolyn Rader of Ripley. We'll be back with more of Inside West Virginia Politics in just a moment. Hey, welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics. And in Charleston, for this past week and going into this weekend, we've had the Pro Road National Championships in the capital city. And here to tell us all about it is our meteorologist, Brian Hughes.
They call me the bike guy at some point this week. I used to do triathlons, so I know a little bit about cycling.
Okay, well, this has been a huge week, and it's not over yet.
Right. Listen, USA Cycling signed a 5-year deal with Charleston and the Convention and Visitors Bureau to bring the Pro Road National Championships here. That is time trials. That is a criterium, which was the wild racing that we had Thursday and Friday all through downtown. The 1 mile course, they lap, 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 lap. And I mean, they're doing speeds that are near 30 to 40 miles per hour through downtown. But right now, for this Sunday and then Memorial Day Monday, we do have the Pro Road National Championships as far as the road course is concerned. And for the elite, which is Olympic level racing on Monday, that's going to be a 13.1 mile trek through all the hills and down in the flats of Charleston.
And how about the weather for all of this? Just give us a good forecast.
Well, we've had some of the cool air for Thursday and Friday. We had warmer temperatures early in the week, and this weekend has actually been not too bad. I mean, temperatures upper 60s, now we're in the 70s for Sunday and into Monday. But for Monday specifically, if you're coming from wherever, and listen, this is going to be some fun Memorial Day stuff watching this. So we've got jumbotrons, big screens all around the city, so you can watch that. You can go to Flow Racing. They have the live stream as well that you can watch. But the weather is going to be a little wet for Monday. But that makes it more interesting. What you have to do is you have to take essentially your pressures down on your tires, and they typically would run around 100 to 110 psi on some of these tires. Then you run them down to around, you take about 10 psi out so you have more grip on the road when it's wet. And they can make some of these changes in the middle of the race. I mean, if it's dry as a bone when you start and then all of a sudden you get downpours, they can swap these things out, but you are going to lose time. They do have teams that run alongside with them, and if you have a switch out, let's say you have a tire that goes out, they're going to swap you out with a tire that's a little lower pressure so it gets more grip.
And they're coming from, participants not only from all across the country, but from around the world.
Some of them were racing in Italy last week. And so they are over here. Now, this is an Olympic qualifying event. Now, obviously, we don't have the Olympics this year, but what you're doing is you are building up your resume. And if you can get more of those titles, if there's anything that they need to consider, for instance, one of the ladies who won last year, she went to the Olympics in Paris. What she won the gold medal on was not her course. Not her style, not what she typically runs, but because she had the credentials, because she had won national championships and stuff. And for instance, in Charleston, they said, listen, your resume is pretty good. We think you can run to this. Can you do that to fill in the gap? And that's what happened. So you're looking at people building resumes up and getting more experience so they can compete in the Olympics. Because just so we're clear, you got to think about Tour de France. Some of the folks that run Tour de France, George Hincapie. He's in town right now. He's watching all these. He's got his own clothing line for racers and stuff. But there are a lot of folks who rode Tour de France, who have been in USA Cycling and these Pro Road National Championships that are going to compete globally all the time. And this is a resume building thing for sure.
And this is a great opportunity to present the city of Charleston and the region to folks who've never been here before.
Listen, they had an expo downtown during the Criterium, and you had all the tourism. You had Mercer County, you had the West Virginia tourism folks that were downtown, and all kinds of things. Everybody's putting their best foot forward, and there are lots of people. We actually have one of the cyclists who's actually from Elkins, but you've got a lot of folks who are from all around the globe and all around the country, and they've said, we love it. The people who were here last year came back this year. They said, we've absolutely loved it. We have had a good time, if not a great time in Charleston.
And one more time, the weather for the final of this event.
For the final one, it's going to be the elite racing. That is going to be on Monday. We have a chance for some showers and a little bit of thunder, but that does not stop them. They will race, and it has to be essentially a tornado coming through before they will stop a race and go from there.
Wow, thanks, Brian.
You're very welcome.
That's Brian Hughes, and I'm Rick Johnson, and that'll do it for this edition of Inside West Virginia Politics. We'll get together again next weekend.